Welcome to Falcon Update on YBTV, live from Hostetler Chapel. I'm Caleb Kukin.
And I'm Reed Milliken.
We have a lot to get to today, but first, Julia Kropp is currently at Parmer Hall to talk about an upcoming musical theater cabaret, Shoeless Joe. Julia?
Thanks, Caleb. Hello, everyone. I'm currently right outside Pullman Black Box Theater, where cast and crew are working hard for this weekend. Shoeless Joe is a fast-paced production that is redesigned every semester. It is redesigned every year to fit the unique cast and their strengths. This year's title is Lost in the OZ, but I'll let you think about what that show has in store for you with that kind of a title. The hint is that nothing is as it seems. After the performance, every year will be a raffle to win fun socks. Come this weekend to see this fun musical. For YBTV, I'm Julia Kropp, sending it back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Julia. Country artist Dylan Calagris is coming to campus this week. The singer and songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, will put on a live country concert opened by Franklin Kelly on the library steps this Saturday at 6:30.
The Messiah Symphony Orchestra hosted their family concert in Parmer Hall on Saturday. After the concert, they had an instrument petting zoo for anyone to try them. Caleb Wiegers has more.
I'm Michael. I play clarinet in the orchestra. Our concert, it went great. You know, we had all these things that were going very, very well, better than maybe even rehearsal and stuff. And every year we have a instrument petting zoo, and we like to have a lot of people come out and try instruments, because that can be something monumental for all these children. And you know, maybe they'll end up playing in our orchestra someday. And yeah.
Saturday. The homecoming weekend was capped off with SAB hosting their second bingo event of the semester. Students were treated to snacks and refreshments, and the winners took home a variety of Messiah gear.
When we plan bingos, our goal is really just to engage the student body and provide a fun opportunity for them to come out and win prizes. So when we pick bingo nights, we try to be really intentional about our themes. And providing just an opportunity that will bring in different groups of people and just provide a night for students to get away.
SAB hosts bingo nights once a month, so be sure to follow SAB on Instagram at MessiahSAB to stay up to date.
Last Friday, students had the chance to explore the natural world of sustainability at SustainaFest. Students flooded this year's SustainaFest that included plants, a bike-powered blender, and a tortoise weighing 100 pounds, and much more. Sustainability is an area of study for those who enjoy being outside and enjoying God's creation. We got to hear from Maggie Stoddard, who talked about this event.
We're here at SustainaFest, where we have on-campus clubs and organizations as well as off-campus businesses and nonprofits, and we're all here to celebrate our sustainable efforts.
Singers were also invited to perform, while students had the chance to sign up for other future events held by Sustainability. For more information on sustainability events, visit sustainability at messiah.edu.
The Union was home to the Department of Safety's annual Safety Day on Wednesday. Several displays dotted the patio, each of them highlighting services of campus safety students may not be familiar with. It was an opportunity to shed light on an underappreciated aspect of campus as well as give students an opportunity to meet the folks responsible for keeping Messiah so.
They see us a lot of times as just people that give, officers that give parking tickets, and we want them to see that we do so much more on campus, like the EMS calls, we handle all the medical calls, all the
found in the Eisenhower Campus Center, or students can call a 24-hour safety hotline at 717-691-6005.
And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Falcon Update after the break.
The MSAT at Messiah University is a two-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. I'm Caleb Kukin.
And I'm Reed Milliken. Caleb, how did you spend your homecoming weekend?
Well, Reed, my family got to come up and visit me. We went to Amish country, Lancaster, toured a nice Amish house and farm, and got to learn about, their culture and their history. So it was good. How was yours?
It was good. I had a pretty relaxing weekend. I worked Friday, worked Sunday, but Saturday I just kind of took the day off, kicked my feet up, and just, enjoyed myself. I didn't really do anything homecoming related.
Hey, nothing better than just a relaxing weekend.
I agree. And what's the weekend for if not relaxation?
That's right. And we have a lot to look forward this week at Messiah. Danielle Leppert has this week's campus calendar.
Good evening. I'm Danielle Leppert, and welcome to this week's edition of Campus Calendar. It's time to get those calendars out. We've got a good week ahead. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, Campus Ministries, Student Ministries, and LAL have collaborated to bring you a Spanish language chapel on Tuesday. Come celebrate in bilingual worship and a discussion of unity within differences. On Wednesday, the Department of Communications is hosting a Culture Connect in Hostetter Chapel from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. There will be pizza and a discussion featuring a panel of faculty, students, and staff moderated by Kim Phipps. Come learn to develop conversational skills that foster mutual respect and campus unity. On Friday, SAB will be hosting a Sports Edition Trivia Night at the Larson Student Union from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. There will be prizes for the top 3 winners. On Saturday, SAB's annual Fall Fest will be held at the Larson Student Union patio from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Activities include donut decorating, a pumpkin carving contest, pumpkin painting, coaster making, and more. Sunday will be the last showing of Shoeless Joe. This event will take place from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Parmer Black Box Theater. Tickets are $5 and will be available for purchase online and at the door. That is all for this week's edition of Campus Calendar. I hope to see you at some of these events this week. For YBTV, I'm Danielle Leppert.
Thanks, Danielle. Caleb, what was the first thing you did when the sun finally came out this weekend?
Well, Reed, I work for the baseball team, and with all this rain, they haven't been able to practice for a while. So now that the sun came out, I was finally able to go to a baseball practice, get some content for their social media, and just be out in the sun.
That's wonderful. And Cucan Media, if you want to check up on that. Cucan Media.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Caleb, you don't have to be a weatherman to know that it's raining outside. It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining men. And hallelujah, it's Garrett Fannin bringing you this week's Falcon forecast. Garrett.
Reed, Caleb, thank you so much for that awesome introduction. I'm Garrett Fannin, and I'm delivering you guys weather for today. So let's not waste 1 minute. Let's get right into it. We got 62 degrees, and that, to me, is sweatshirt weather. So we're going to have that for our air, and we have just partly cloudy skies with a chance of falling meatballs. No, I'm just kidding. Falling acorns. We got a high of 68, which is just about 70, so it's going to be roughly around the t-shirt weather. We got a low of 46, and that is going to be around jacket weather. And then we're going to have precipitation, not much of that, so we're all good for right now. For Tuesday planner, we got 7 a.m. coming in at 49, and that's going to be a little bit colder, and we're going to rush into 4 p.m., and that's going to be 66 degrees. So it's going to be climbing up, and then we're going to have a steady drop about 15 degrees to 51. And then we're going to end off the night with 54 and continuing. The next slide we got here, we got some cold winds coming up to the Pennsylvania area, along with some green over here, and then obviously to our people down in Florida, just praying for those families involved. But yeah, shouldn't be too much rain coming up in here, but it should blow away pretty fast. As we continue on, we got some cold areas up here, but down south and to the east, we're going to go towards Gettysburg, York, and Harrisburg. We're going to see towards the warmer winds and warmer temperatures starting at 60, 65, 70 degrees, so it shouldn't be too bad from there. And to the next one, we got 7-day forecast, and we got from Tuesday, we got 68, and then we got 68 again on Wednesday, coming up through Friday, going up to 68 and to 75. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some sun, and we're gonna have all that heat towards us. I'm so blessed to have that. It's been a while since we have had that for the last week. And we're gonna come back into Sunday, Monday, a little bit chillier, but that's okay. For the nights, we're gonna have 46 going on through 41. It's gonna get a little bit colder, and then we're gonna go rise up a little bit in heat. But yes. Thank you so much for tuning in for weather tonight. I'm Garrett Fannin, sending it back to the desk. Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett. Reed, you got anything planned for your fall break?
Not really. I'm going to be living on campus. I'm going to be hanging out here. I filled out my staying on campus fall break, stay on campus form. And that is exactly how it's written out in the email that I received. I did not just stumble on my own words. But hey, for this week's Falcon on the Street, Dylan Hassinger asked students what they have planned for their fall break.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Falcon on the Street. My name is Dylan Hassinger. Today I will be asking your fellow Falcons what are their plans for this upcoming fall break.
All right, so I'm probably going to go home, back to upstate New York, get a few days of rest, come back for wrestling, rev it up, baby.
I'm going to go to Cali with my friend Tim over here. Oh yeah, he actually invited me over to his house, so.
Upcoming plans for fall break. I would say I'll probably just be home, just in my basement, just kind of chilling. Just be relaxing a lot.
So my plans for this upcoming fall break are to hang out with friends and family.
Probably just working and paying off for school. That's it. Nothing fun.
My plans for fall break are going home, seeing my family, and working.
My plans for fall break is figuring out my major and just reconnecting with family.
My plans for fall break are to get together with some of my hometown friends and spend time with family.
Okay, so this upcoming fall break, I'm just going to be spending time with family and probably doing some baking, cooking, and studying for tests. So, yeah.
So for fall break, I'm going to the Disabled Makers Fall Conference in Harrisburg, and then I'm also going to the For King Country concert in Hershey, PA with my family.
Yeah, I'm going to a Steven Sanchez concert, so I'm super excited for that.
Well, I think those were all some very, very great answers. Personally, me, I'm going to be flying down to Nashville, Tennessee to visit some close family and friends. That's all for this week's Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Dylan Hassinger.
Thanks, Dylan. A bunch of great responses for this week's segment of Beyond the Breaches. Emma Dingus spoke to the person behind Messiah's Instagram. Emma.
For this week's Beyond the Breaches, we're actually keeping things on campus as we're going to be talking with Natalie Frank, a 2023 Messiah alum who is the social media manager for the Instagram pages. Let's check it out.
I'm Natalie Frank, and my job title is Communication Specialist. I am creating content, I am managing the socials, monitoring Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and X, and I'm also managing 2 work studies who go and get that content for me. For a year and a half, I was a work study working in the same office. I loved the person who was supervising me, who at the time was April, and she had the position that I have today. And then I graduated and didn't really have a plan for what to do next, so I applied to a couple different places and just wasn't getting much feedback. Because one day, Danielle, who supervised April, reached out to me and said that there was this position opening up that April had recently left from. So I interviewed and I got the position. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to come, and it really made the transition from student to full-time employee a lot easier.
It was so great getting to hear from Natalie more about her job and her position here at Messiah. For those watching, thank you so much for tuning into this week's Beyond the Breaches. For YBTV, I'm Emma Dingus.
Thanks, Emma. Unfortunately, that's all Caleb and I have for this week's Falcon Update. Hey, but don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Nate Harlacher and Emma Dingus will be bringing you this week's sports right after this break.
Being able to talk about faith and Christianity and what that means is important to me, because working in a secular environment, a lot of times questions of ethics and morality come into play. And I think having a faith-based education really equips people and our students to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to serve their communities ethically and morally and be confident about who they are in their Christianity.
The MSAT at Messiah University is this 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
I am so grateful for the ways that Messiah has helped me see my career anew. Thanks to my education and this journey at Messiah, I was able to achieve my goal of being a professor. And so every day I get to share my experiences, my faith, and my education with students.
I've always had a strong love of the business world, but I always wanted to keep on growing my faith.
And what Messiah helped me do was pair my faith with business so I could be a Christian in the workplace. The professors were role models of how to do that. What I learned in class taught me the interpersonal skills and the hard skills that take two things that I loved, my faith and business, and pair that together moving forward.
Absolutely filthy goal there.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome to YBTV Sports. On Falcon Update, I'm Emma Dingus.
And I'm Nate Harlacker.
It was a busy week here at Grantham for Messiah Athletics, as almost every fall team was in action at home for homecoming weekend on Friday and Saturday.
On Saturday, both men's and women's tennis were in action against Dickinson College, with the women dropping the match 7-0 and the men falling 5-2. Brady Hahn and Luke Rissler both picked up wins in the singles for the Falcons.
Now it's time for highlights. This week's edition of Falcon 4. The field hockey team hosted the Red Hawks of Montclair State University. The Falcons would strike first with 2 back-to-back goals from Carrie Bear. Our highlight is the second of the 2. So we'll see here. Bear gets the ball. She's going to work her way around the outside through the 2 defenders. They can't catch her, and she just hits it across to the opposite side of the goal. We'll take a look at that again here as Bear just using finesse to work her way around. Great stick handling there. She shoots it to the opposite sides and helps to tack on another goal for the Falcons. The Falcons would go on to win this one 5-1, and they will travel to St. Davis, PA on Friday to take on the Eagles of Eastern University.
On Friday, Messiah Women's Volleyball kicked off homecoming weekend against Newman University. Katie Quisenberry was one of the 3 Falcons with 9 kills on the night, including this impressive play. So here we see Falcons getting ready to set one over here, setting it up. Quisenberry goes up for the block, gets the kill anyway. As we'll get another look at that one here. Falcons move that to 9-5 in the 3rd set. Goes up for the block and brings the boom with the nice kill there from Katie Quisenberry. The Falcons ended up dominating the contest, winning 3-0, and Quisenberry, Cheney Barnhart, and Mackenzie Adams all had 9 kills.
For our next highlight, we're going to take a look at men's soccer as they hosted their first conference game on Saturday against the Eastern Eagles of Eastern University. Falcons dominated the Eagles as Josh Bradiger scored twice for the Falcons. Let's take a look at Bradiger's second score. So we'll see here, the Falcons have it. They're going to work their way down into Eagles territory as they're passing around. Great passing here as they're finding the lanes. As Bradiger takes the extra step to get the goal and sinks it into the back of the net. As we'll see here again, just excellent passing here by the Falcons. Great communication as they're working their way around all those defenders, and Bradiger taking that time to put it into the net for the Falcons. They would tack on another goal after that to shut out the Eagles, winning 3-0. The Falcons will travel to Lancaster Thursday to take on the Lancaster Bible College.
Messiah Women's Soccer also opened up conference play against the Eastern Eagles on Saturday. Up 2-0 early, freshman Lexi Sarago scored her first career goal off this long-range effort. So here we see a nice pass here coming into Sarago. Goes outside the box, and her weak foot over into the near post of the goal there for the Falcons, putting them up 3-0. Let's look at this one right here again. Lexi Sarago goes to get it. Perfectly done. Hotel Sarago. Back of the net it goes for Lexi Sarago, her first goal of her career. The Falcons would tack on 2 more goals in the first half, comfortably winning this one 5-0. The team is back in action on Wednesday at 7 p.m. at home against DeSalle University.
It was overall a great homecoming weekend with volleyball, men and women's soccer, and field hockey going a combined 4-0, Nate, in front of the alumni and current students on campus here.
Yeah, and the highlights weren't the only action YBTV Sports was able to cover this weekend, as Rosie Schiano was at Shoemaker Field for the men's soccer contest, as well as the presenting of the homecoming king and queen.
Thanks, guys. Rosie Schiano here at Shoemaker Field, where the Falcons of Messiah and the Eagles of Eastern are going to a battle of the birds tonight for the homecoming game. Students are here, fans are here, and I think the vibes are going to be great.
I am loving this. There is no place I would rather be today. This is my first soccer game at Messiah, and of course for this to be the homecoming game, this is the way to start, right? I'm loving it. What a great place.
Yo, I'm feeling great, you know what I'm saying? We finna catch the dub, you know? We're seniors now, so it's crazy, but you know, we're here with the people, the homies, and we finna catch this dub.
And the 2024 homecoming king is go ahead and
It genuinely feels surreal. I just want to say thank you to the student body. I love Messiah, and yeah, I just feel very cherished and loved right now.
Honestly, I'm kind of just like blessed that I was able to, you know, I love people and I genuinely like this community and love this community. And the opportunity that I had to have people vote me in just shows that all the connections I've made don't go in vain.
Sending it back to you guys in the studio for YBTV, I'm Rosie Schiano.
Well, thanks, Rosie. It surely looked like a great time this weekend at homecoming. And last weekend might not surpass this weekend. We got some pretty good sports coming up this weekend. Swimming, tennis going on this weekend.
Right.
First swimming broadcast, I believe. So, going to look forward to that one.
Well, we have a lot of great things coming up this week for Falcon Athletics. But that's all for Falcon Update. But stay put. We'll be right back with YB Tonight right after the break.
Good evening and welcome to YB Tonight. I'll be right back. Hello and welcome to this week's YB Tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Fannin. Tonight we will be joined by Lily Davey and CJ Groff from Student Ministries. Then we will be joined by Zania Frazier, who will share her dance experience with us, followed by a performance. Stick around, we'll be right back after this break.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
sort of under the impression that I needed to find like one thing that was my thing, and that there was somehow greater purpose in finding that one thing. But what I learned from studying at Messiah with a liberal arts education, with an education that really dignifies a number of pursuits, was that yes, I'm called to certain things in certain times in my life, but the adventure continues. All the things that God has given us are good things. They all can be ways in which we can further the kingdom, ways in which we can do good in our world. And so the adventure of finding which one to engage in at which time and how to do the best you can with the opportunity before you is one that we should all be enjoying, that God has given us. And that's a perspective that I credit Messiah with helping me form and helping me see.
Messiah definitely gave me an idea of what my future could look like. It gave me a vision for all the possibilities that existed for my life through the example of alumni, other students that were just a little bit ahead of me in coursework, the professors that came before me and maybe have graduated from Messiah. There's just such a community that existed and a model of success that was proven time and time again through Messiah. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose to come here and why I continue to love it.
Welcome back. I'm here with Lily and CJ. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well.
Doing so good.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys could join us tonight. So let's start out with just talking about your roles with Student Min. Can you both describe each of your individual roles?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can go first. So I'm men's min coordinator and then also life groups director at Messiah.
Yeah, I am the women's min coordinator and well, that's pretty much my person, but we hold a bunch of life groups for women's ministry as well, so.
That's awesome. You sound like you guys both have some pretty big roles. So what made you guys want to take on these roles with Student Min?
I think naturally, God kind of called me into the position. I think naturally I like to be kind of more of a follower at first, but I think God's really stretching me in this. And I really just feel called to just be encouraging to everyone I meet, and especially with men's ministry. I grew up with 3 sisters, so every guy I meet, I just say, "You're an answer to prayer." So that's kind of
I love that.
Yeah. Women's ministry has been a huge blessing to my life. I was just praying a lot last year about opportunities for service and just how to reach more people on this campus about Jesus. And yeah, there's a lot of people here who really need community, so that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so you guys are experiencing God moving on this campus. Have you guys had any really cool moments within your groups? Have you seen God move in any unique ways that you could describe?
Let's see. I think something that's been cool is during training week, we came like 2 weeks early, and we were packed with a lot of different things, but God provided some time where like me and my guy Jeremiah, were able to like just go to the breaches and just kind of spend time with God, like just be listening for God and just reading our Bibles. And I know like through all this planning and things like that, like God always provides that time for rest, and I think that's so important.
That's awesome. I think that's a really big theme that our campus has had recently with our Sabbath, our campus-wide Sabbath that we had. I think it was like a week or 2 ago. Yeah. So that's super cool that you're taking part in that and just spending time with God. So how about you?
Yeah.
What are your
I've seen the Lord move in so many cool ways. Literally, I mean, he's moving in everything. You can see him just in something as simple as a friend, a close friend, or something really, really big. But I've seen people step out of anxiety and step into a voice that the Lord has given them and a space that the Lord is giving them, which has been so cool. And I've also just seen him really, really move in other areas of student ministries as well, like prayer ministry.
what they're doing with Altar is really, really cool. I'm going to plug that. You guys should really show up to Altar. It is so cool.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, the Lord is just taking people's hearts and using them, because if you have a heart for the Lord and you really want to see him move, he's going to move, and he's been pouring out his Spirit in a really cool way.
That's really amazing. I also have been to Altar, so I will subtly plug Altar. You guys got to check it out. It's awesome. So can you guys just tell me what your favorite part is about your roles as Student Min?
I think something that I love is I think learning people's names is so important, and encouragement is so important. So every time some new person, specifically if it's men's min, coming to Bible study or something like that on Wednesday nights, 7 to 8, Hofstadter basement. But anytime a new person comes in, I just feel like I have this joy of the Lord that comes inside of me, that I just want to make this person feel loved, feel seen. And I know for me, like, God's given me peace over anxiety and stuff like that. So if he can do it for me, I know he can do it for them. So just making them feel a belonging, and through spreading God's love in that way. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my favorite part has been just seeing the transformative power of the Lord, because there's so many different areas where you really see somebody struggling with something, or just maybe something they don't even realize, that the Lord just uses and turns right back around. It's just been really, really cool to see him work very directly. And there's so many specific examples of just people or situations that he has just spoken directly to and changed things in. It's just really cool.
That's so cool that you guys get to witness that firsthand. And I just want to talk about, do you guys have a theme for the semesters? Or is there a mission statement for Student Min as a whole that you guys are trying to accomplish?
Yeah. There isn't necessarily typically a theme, but the mission statement is definitely reaching people and making sure that they are discipled, not just left, here's Jesus, but here's Jesus, and here's how we follow him, and here's how you let him change your life, and here is how this is what a life walked with Jesus looks like. And you don't have to do it alone. You can do it with so many other really cool people. So.
Yeah, and lastly, just we have weekly events and times of gathering, but we don't want these to just be one-off events. We want these to be opportunities to build relationships, because God does call us to community, as well as getting to know who God is together.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
So where does Student Min typically meet? Do you, throughout the weekend, you guys have different events. Can you just talk me through some of those, where they meet?
Sure. So yeah, for men's ministry, we have a weekly Bible study. It's called Everybody Eats. And that is 7 to 8 p.m., Hofstadter basement. And then we also have a life group on Tuesdays that is 6 to 7. Right now we're meeting in the prayer chapel. That's connected to Miller and Hess and Grantham right there. But yeah, those are our 2 weekly events. And if anybody out there that wants to create a life group or something like that, please reach out, whether to me or Lily. And we'd love to create a group around one of your interests or something like that, and then introduce God into that as well.
Yeah, and then women's ministry has 4 life groups that we're currently meeting weekly. So there's one on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, led by Sarah. And then there's 3 on Wednesdays. One of them is in the loft with Moriel at, I believe, 5 o'clock, and actually 6 o'clock. And the other one is with Belle at 5 o'clock in Jordan Klein. And there's another one with Sophia in the fitness center room, very dance and movement oriented, which is really cool. So definitely encourage people to check that out. We will also be announcing some other women's ministry events shortly, where we can just come together, talk about the Lord, have a good time together. And yeah, and then there's obviously also a bunch of other student ministries events. There's prayer ministries events like Altar, Bible studies like Roots and Logos, and yeah, so you guys should definitely inquire if you're interested about literally anything.
That's so cool. It sounds like you have a lot of events coming up for especially women's ministry. Are there any men's ministry events that we missed that might be coming up that we can look out for?
Those are the 2 right now. Men's ministry is doing a 4x4 right now called MAP, kind of some small group intentionality there. But yeah, we'll keep you updated on any kind of different events. I'd love to get lunch with anybody or one of our leaders. And dude, I want to create like a student section or something like that in every sport where we can all just go and cheer on our fellow Messiah students. So.
That's so cool, the way that you guys are trying to pour into the community. Is there anything that I missed before we wrap it up?
That was about it.
Oh yeah, God is good.
Yeah, check it out. Definitely do not be shy about getting connected with Student Ministries or Women's Ministry or Men's Ministry. It is such a loving space, and it is literally just Jesus reaching his hand out to this campus. So.
That's good.
That's awesome. Well, CJ, Lily, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And we have a lot coming up after this break. Zania Fraser will join me to talk about her dance life and show us a glimpse of it. We'll be right back.
It's very rare to find a Master's of Music program that has this online component along with great flexibility.
The graduate programs in music at Messiah University consist of a Master of Music and Conducting and a Master of Music Education. The graduate program is the largest of its kind that is a NASM accredited program in the United States.
I enjoyed that the program gave me the opportunity to have so many hands-on experiences, even if it was an online class. I was practicing my conducting. I was getting real feedback from professors on how I was doing with those skills.
Messiah University has been teaching online for over 10 years. That gives us the experience that we need to really have those personal moments with our students no matter where they are.
It's flexible and the quality of the education is unparalleled. One of the things that I love the most is that the professors build personal connections with their students.
Time after time, relationships are forged between students and faculty alike, and those relationships stand the test of time.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
Hello and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm Jessica Fannin here with Zenia Fraser. Zenia, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
Okay, so first I just want to get into how you started with dance. Can you just walk me through that?
So my mom was a dancer, and she was in a dance company when I was about 1 year old, even prior to me being born. And she would take me to the rehearsals, and just from the stories that I've been told, like she said that I would like join and dance choreography, or if they're like going across the floor, like I'd walk across the floor with them. And at age 5, she started teaching me. And she had her own dance company at the time called God's Little Ones, and it was a Christian faith-based dance company, but it was deprived of my family members, so it was me and my cousins, and we just were dancing. So yeah.
That's so cool that it's been a part of your life since you said 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. So was there ever a moment when you were younger that you realized like this is for me, like I want to do this for a long time?
I don't think it was when I was younger, because I had other aspirations. Like I wanted to be a fashion designer, then I wanted to be an interior designer, and then I wanted to be a psychologist, which is actually what I'm also going to school for. But I think around high school was when I realized that I wanted to like pursue it professionally. So I want to say around 2016.
That's super cool. Was there anybody in particular that inspired you to continue to pursue dance in college?
I think the community that I grew up in. So my environment plays a huge role in who I am today, and specifically like the Christian and faith-based aspect of it all. I did a lot of conferences and just like dance recitals and concerts as I was growing up, and they were all surrounded by God and everything. So I just wanted to implement that in my life and try to find ways to, you know, move forward in that way.
That's super cool. So I was told that you studied abroad in London.
I did.
Okay, so can you tell me any specific dance experience that you had in London?
Okay, so it's actually my favorite part about being in London, or one of it. So pretty similar to what we have here, like student engagement fair, when you can sign up for all the clubs and organizations. They have something similar there. It's called Freshers Fair. And so as I was going around, I landed on 2 clubs, a Christian club and then a dance club. And it's actually considered a company, which is something that I grew up in. So I didn't really do more competitive. I did more company style dance. And it was called Third Row Dance Company, and it's essentially for 3rd years because they only do 3 years. They're not 4. And so I ended up registering and signing up, and I asked them, I'm like, okay, well, I'm only here for 1 semester, but I really would love to audition and everything. And they're like, for sure, like, you can still be in the concert for the winter, and everything will be taken care of as long as you, you know, do what you have to do to, you know, maintain your membership. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I auditioned, I want to say the middle to the end of September. I got in, and I don't know, from there I just kind of been going to classes on Mondays, and then we would have like weekend rehearsals, and we do like full weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all day just dancing. And it kind of was nostalgic because I went to performing arts school prior to coming here, and it just reminded me of like all the dancing that I used to do back then. So yeah.
That's amazing. That sounds like a really cool experience.
Yeah, it was.
So we're actually going to get started with Sania's choreographed piece. So you did a piece with the department, right? Okay, so you did that for the spring concert culmination last year, and we're going to take a look at her piece right now.
My soul cries out, where are you now? In my hour of greatest need, you've gone missing. I'm screaming out, a silent shout. I don't know where else to turn. Are you listening? I am tired
was beautiful. It was amazing. Can you tell me a little bit of your inspiration behind this piece?
First of all, I just want to say thank you. But I was in a place in my life where I felt like God wanted to collaborate with me on my choreography. So I wasn't really doing it out of my own strength or understanding. I kind of just went with it, you know, like I had 2 days to make it for a recital that I was doing, and when I tell you I only practiced for 2 hours on the 2 days that I did it, and I just had to like go with the flow, and I workshopped it. So workshopping means I literally choreographed on the spot, whereas I didn't come with choreography prior to the rehearsal. So it was just more so a collaboration between me and God, and it was more personal than anything. So
That's so cool. How did the process of choreographing this dance compare to other dances that you've choreographed? Have they looked similar to this?
honestly, no. I think this was the first dance that I intentionally made, like not just for the sake of dancing or for it to look cool or whatever the case may have been. It was just for me and God to connect on a deeper level. And so that's how it's different, and I'm searching for that still, like that collaboration. And I think it's more so me putting my pride aside and ego aside and everything else in between to just try to, you know, collaborate with God and just let Him lead the way and I follow. So.
I love the way that you say you're collaborating with God. I think that's like a really cool perspective to take, especially when you're like, I haven't heard that before when you're choreographing a dance. It's a collaboration with God. So you're a senior dance major this year.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about your vision for the show that you will do?
Oh, well, I'm actually really excited about it because I'll let you guys on a sneak peek. It's called the Ultimate Worship Experience. So expect to see something similar to what was just shown. However, I want it to be more theatrical. So no dialogue, you know, no spoken word or anything, just more so like utilizing our emotions and walking and maybe some props or so to like kind of paint the picture of what it is like to be a Christian in the different aspects we as humans experience. So that can look like marriage or family issues or whatever you're going through, like in school, just so that it can be relatable to the audience that is watching, but also something that I can relate to as an individual myself. So
That's so cool. I look forward to seeing and hearing about this.
Thanks.
So is there anything that I missed that you would like to share?
No, I think that's pretty much all there is.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really enjoyed seeing your performance, and thank you for chatting for me. It was a great time to hear about it. So Zinnia prepared a dance performance specifically for the show tonight with Ella Tabo and Shen Yun Sun, which we will play now.
I can't love like that, talking behind your back. Told me to love on you, how you gon' hate on that? Trauma in my melody, but I found me a better thing. God said I'm your remedy, just gotta remember me. This a 1 Corinthians banger, ran into the anger changer. I ain't worried about stranger danger, I'm trying to help you in danger, stranger. A wise man gon' say sorry a lot of time I don't do it on the spot. God, I need what you got, cause love don't love like that. I can't love like that. Can't love. I can't love like that. Like that. Can't love like that. Love don't love like that. I can't love like that. I can't love like that. Can't love like that. Lord don't love like that. I can't love like that. I can't love like that. Can't love like that. Lord don't love like that. I can't love like that. I can't love like that. Can't love like that. Lord don't love like that.
That was amazing. I was vibing over here. I wanted to get up there and dance. That was so much fun.
Thank you.
You did awesome.
I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Also, there is more to that piece. It was just a little snippet. We started choreographing it, I want to say 2 weeks ago, and we only meet once a week. So that was just something that we, had to throw together just for the sake of being on this interview. So I'm really happy that it all came together because we worked really hard for it. But there's just a little bit more that I want to add to it to make it like a full, collective piece.
Of course.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Thank you so much for putting all that effort in and for putting together a really cool piece.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that is all that we have for the show tonight. We will see you next week. Have a great night, Messiah.